Γεια σας φίλοι μου! Τι κάνετε, εύχομαι να είστε καλά. Μετά από μια εβδομάδα απουσίας συνεχίζουμε το Call of Cthulhu. Είχα αρρωστήσει την περασμένη εβδομάδα και δεν μπορούσα να κάνω κάποιο βίντεο. Η αλήθεια είναι έκανα το Hogwarts Legacy στη ζούλα λιγάκι, αλλά ναι εντάξει, ήμουνα και εγώ λίγο στα χαλιά μου. Επίσης, ευχαριστώ τα σχόλια των φίλων οι οποίοι μου δώσαν κάποιες συμβουλές, μου δώσαν κάποιες παρενέσεις όλο αυτό τον καιρό. Και κάτι άλλο, για όσους στηρίζετε το κανάλι εδώ, θα ήθελα να παροτρύνω για όποιον θέλει να στηρίξει και το φίλο Κουκουβάγια. Είναι και αυτός ένα πολύ ενδιαφέρον κανάλι, κάνει πολύ ενδιαφέροντα plays. Δείτε τον, αξίζει, θεωρώ κατά τη δική μου άποψη ότι αξίζει τον κόπο. Οκ, ξεκινάμε. Σαρακοστιανά βλέπω, ξεκινάμε με Σαρακοστιανά.
Who goes there?
Okay.
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Πού είμαστε? Στην έπαυλη. Αυτή που θεωρητικά κάηκε. Ενδιαφέρον. Ναι, στο προηγούμενο επίσης είχαμε φύγει από το ψυχιατρίο, για να το θυμίσουμε. Έχουμε character points να δώσουμε. Θα το δώσουμε στο spot hidden, eloquence και psychology. Spot hidden, eloquence και psychology. Ωραία, πάμε. Για πάμε να δούμε κάτω τι μας περιμένει.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Περίεργα, δεδομένου ότι κάθεται ένας πεθαμένος εδώ.
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Ωραίο σπιτάκι. Μεγάλε.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
Και λίγα λες.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Okay.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Δεν μπορώ.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
Okay.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Okay,
Sarah
understand.
Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Για αυτόν το θάνατο
We'll
τι
end
έχουμε
up
να
in the
πούμε?
hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Ναι.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Γιατί να φύγουμε? Και από πού φεύγουμε? Οπα. Και από εδώ φεύγουμε. Πάμε. Pierce and Bradley decided to team up to solve Sarah Hawkins' file. They have a new trail to follow Francis Sanders, art collector, in front of the painter who died in front of Pierce. The detective goes to the house in order to speak with his widow about the sampler and the unfortunate man mentioned before he died. Ωραία.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders,
Οπα, τι είναι αυτή?
I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
Καλώς είναι σας.
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Για να δούμε.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he?
Εντάξει, τι να κάνουμε.
Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Okay,
He
πάμε.
started raving, screaming that a dimensional shambler had found him.
Mercy, that story again. Why have him interned?
That was when he began to convulse and twist with pain. Or terror, it's hard to tell.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not really sure of what I saw, or what I didn't see. But it's best that you weren't there.
I should have been there. What you're telling me is outrageous. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute?
Πολύ reputed.
Right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Okay, θα σου πω.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Oh!
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Βρήκαμε τέτοια, Wow. Για πάμε στο character sheet. Ναι, η Παναγία η Κατοκθουλιανή, πώς την είχα πει. Οπα, ναι, για να δούμε. Pierce. Α. Πάμε. Reset, spot hidden. Validate, yes. Ωραία.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Α, ναι. Είναι από αυτά που χάνει sanity. Α, μια χαρά. Δεν θα τις μιλήσω ακόμα.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Okay. Κάποια πράγματα μου φαίνεται δεν είναι όπως...
I could use one of those.
Η φάλαινα και ο μπακαλιάρος, μάλιστα.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
I found this drawing of a dagger. Did you come across anything like it in your reading?
Perhaps. I saw several daggers in the ledgers. I could always check. What I didn't find, however, was the slightest reason why I should help you, Detective.
I don't need your services. I can manage all on my own, thanks.
Do it then. Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Οκ, πάντα ξεκινάμε από εδώ. Γιατί υπάρχει αυτό εδώ? Τι θα δούμε? Tablets. Α, τι συμπαθητικό. Τι, μόνο αυτό? Και μία απεικόνιση του Ζήτουλα. Η Παναγιά η Κατοκθουλιανή, μεγάλη χάρη της, βοήθειά μας.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Art. Οκ, μπορεί να το πει art κάποιος αυτό. Να το, όχι. Πρώτα θα ψάξω το υπόλοιπο και μετά θα πάω στο πίνακα. Στον αγαπημένο του πίνακα. Μάλιστα. Θα πεις κι άλλο. Θα συνεχίσεις να μου γκανίζεις?
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Τι συμπαθητικό γλυπτό. Γεια σκοπελιά, τι ψάχνεις, μπορώ να σε βοηθήσω σε κάτι?
Go take a hike, detective.
An old diary.
Μάλιστα, πολύ ωραία.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Χρεώνει και εισιτήρια δηλαδή. Για να δούμε τώρα το sampler. Τι είναι αυτό εδώ πίσω? Α, ωραία. Και τώρα θα βγει το χέρι, κλασικά. Συγγνώμη φιλαράκι.
What the hell was that?
Μαλάκα.
I can't even touch it.
Οκ. Άλλη μια
What the
προσπάθεια.
hell was that?
Έλα μου ντε. Οκ. Φύγε, φύγε. Φύγε, καλά κανονικά θα βγω τώρα στην αγκαλιά του.
This dagger looks different.
Πάμε. Δεν θα με πιάσεις ρε κοπρίτη. Τώρα ρε. Πάρτα. Ναι, ναι, ναι. Έλα, έλα. Πες το πίνακα. Άσε με κάτω ρε. Άσε με κάτω ρε. Άσε με κάτω ρε. Πάρτα. Πρέπει να το κόψεις, μεγάλε. Κόφτο, 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 κόφτο.
What's the matter with you?
Okay.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Huh?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Τι λες? Τι γίνεται εδώ πέρα ρε παιδιά, δεν έχω καταλάβει. Wow, οκ. Ναι. Οκ. Ενδιαφέρον. Πολύ ενδιαφέρον. Για πάμε στον αντικέρ. Αίμα, σπασμένο τζάμ και αίμα. Μάλλον δεν χρειάζεται να χτυπήσεις μεγάλε.
Where is the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Okay, μια χαρά.
An old diary.
Και το Holy Grail. Ναι, όλη αυτή τη σαβούρα, τι την κάνω. Όχι, δεν θα ψάξω πρώτα εδώ. Καλά, το χώρο. Καλά, εντάξει, σχετικό το καλά.
What happened here?
Reconstruction. Πάμε.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Ή κάποιος που θέλει να φαίνεται amateur work.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Δεν έχει τίποτα άλλο. Όχι. Τι είναι αυτά?
What killed all these animals?
Κάλτσες μου.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Το Elder Sign. Κάποιος κάλεσε ένα Elder Sign.
What the... Charles Hawkins? What's happening to Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
Ωραία, και εγώ πώς το ανοίγω?
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Α, ωραία.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Μάλλον.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity, sharp mind, and hope can gain access to my most precious possession that lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination can be found on the 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered even if celebrated, the author says. Order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Ναι. Ας πάμε να ψάξουμε λίγο ακόμα. Οπα.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
Τις έχω εγώ.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
Τις έχω εγώ τώρα, τι σε νοιάζει?
How many volumes are there in this collection? Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Ωραία, ανεβαίνουμε.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Και να δεις πράγματα που είχα αφήσει... Οπα. Για να δεις πράγματα που είχα αφήσει. Οπ.
A kind of chalice. kind of chalice.
Ο φωνόγραφος. Πάμε.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Πάμε,
I finally
δεύτερος.
understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Volume 9.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
Okay.
The chalice of knowledge.
Ενδιαφέρον. Πάμε να ξανακούσουμε αυτά.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it.
The chalice of knowledge.
Ωραία, πάμε από εδώ. Μετράμε τα κόκκινα πετράδια. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Πάμε, chessboard.
The Queen has little protection.
3, μάλλον. Για να δούμε το τελευταίο αριθμός. 9 ήτανε.
I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Άρα 5 πετράδια, 3 στρατιώτες, 9 ένατος τόμος. Πάμε. Οκ. Πάμε. Εάν έχετε παρατηρήσει, γίνεται συνέχεια διακοπές. Είμαι σε άδεια σε εργάσιμη μέρα, οπότε Οπότε έχουμε συνέχεια διακοπές. 5. Πάμε. Όπα. Τρεις στρατιώτες. 9. Ω, έλα ρε, άνοιξε! Τι ήταν οικονομικών? Βρήκαμε και τον οικονομικών. Τι λες τώρα? Τι αυτό? Α, ωραία. Πάλι από κάτι μυστήριο πρέπει να ξεφύγουμε. Riverside Institute πάλι. Ρε γαμώτο, δεν ξεφεύγουμε. Εντάξει. Λοιπόν, θα βάλουμε μια ανωτελεία εδώ πέρα. Οκ. Θα συνεχίσουμε στο επόμενο βίντεο. Ευχαριστώ που παρακολουθήσατε. Ελπίζω στο επόμενο βίντεο να μην έχουμε ιδιαίτερες διακοπές. Θα τα πούμε την επόμενη φορά. Μέχρι τότε να είστε καλά. Γεια σας.